guys, little box here was donated to me by Aaron VE1 India Victor. This is the frequency meter BC221M, United States Army Single Corps, Bendix radio, serial number 4932. This is something that was used a lot during World War II. It has, originally had vacuum tubes in them. Well, they do have vacuum tubes in them. But this particular one is a little bit more interesting, actually. I'm going to show you in a little bit. But this is what the unit looks like on the inside. We have a bunch of controls here. We have a dial in hundreds, dial units, corrector, frequency range, frequency band, high or low. So I modified it for frequency counter output. 2 outputs actually. Headphone jack, heterodyne oscillator, crystal check, or crystal only. You got a gain control, on off switch. You got a control, not a control, but a jack here. Not exactly sure what that jack is yet, but it has the booklet. The whole booklet is still with this unit. It hasn't disappeared over the years. All this apparently, again, from World War II. Use an awful lot, apparently. Nice piece of history, actually, this thing. The unit is a signal generator, frequency meter. It generates an actual frequency. This one was supposed to do 125 to 20,000 kilocycles, which is 125 kilohertz to 20 megahertz. This one was originally supposed to do, but it's been knocked down quite a bit, actually, to about 4.5 megahertz. This one, and this one actually. This one has no tubes in it. There's no tubes whatsoever in this unit. Somebody, an amateur radio operator back in the 1970s, modified this frequency meter BC221M to run on one 9-volt battery. The tubes themselves have been removed, and transistors have been placed in their locations. So I figured you guys might be interested in seeing what was done. There's paperwork inside this on who did it, when it was dated, and I got the scanner going in the background. But yeah, so let's just take this unit apart and we'll show you the insides and the paperwork that is in this. It's quite interesting, I gotta say. Okay, so this whole unit comes right out of this box. There's only 4 screws in each corner here that holds this inside this cabinet. That's the cabinet there. All the original connections and connectors are all there. The only one not there is an antenna connector, or antenna, that did connect up here. But let's close this up and we'll show you what I'm sure you'd love to see. Again, this unit here has been converted from vacuum tube to transistor, and the first thing we'll see is a label up on the top right here. This says Mods reference February 1977 QST, page 35. Mods reference May 1971. 73's magazine, page 60, and the modification was done by Dave Kroll. Victor Echo 3 Delta Kilo Quebec, and the modifications was done on May 1978. 1978. And here's the 9-volt battery right there. This is what powers the whole unit. Runs on 9-volt DC, 15 milliamp. That's the actual where the tubes were. Tube socket, just tube sockets. The tubes are completely removed. So Q4 right here is a 2N3813 looks like 3813. As you can see, one transistor. And then we got a mixer. You got this one called this one's an amplifier. 2N3819 is what that is here. And then you have a mixer over here. Also a 2N2819 mixer. There's two transistors inside this one. And then you have an oscillator right here, which is also a 2N3819. So that's actually pretty cool. I got to say. Someone, like I say, this person has put a frequency counter output on it, so it does generate a frequency that you can see on a frequency counter. The crystal right here, still in place for the crystal oscillator. We have a jack down here that is on the power switch. So I don't know if that doubles as power input. Actually, that's probably what that is. If you didn't want to use 9-volt battery, you can use external 9 volts on the unit, which is pretty cool. Well, so we can see if we can get her turned over on her front here, just so we can see the insides. Well, the old tube parts looks like, for most part, seems to be all still in here. Only a few modifications, obviously, but actually pretty cool. Yeah. So this was done again by Dave Kroll. I hope I'm saying that right. Kroll, K-R-U-L-L. Victor Echo 3 Delta Kilo Quebec from May 1972. Or 78 rather. Wow. Very cool indeed. Let's hook the frequency counter up to her, and so you can see that in action. And you can also, this thing can actually double as a receiver as well. Like a crystal receiver, basically. It's like a direct conversion. The audio output is about the output of a crystal radio, but you can take the output of this receiver and you can dump it into a realistic solid state amplifier, and you can get speaker volume, which is pretty cool. But again, select sensitivity on this is, from my reading online, is probably no better than a crystal receiver. So be warned on that. Anyway, let's hook a frequency counter up to this and see how she runs. Okay, so right now it's on frequency bands low. That's obviously the VFO. So now we're going to look at the frequency counter as we dial up the frequency. This is the low band. I'm doing the VFO to the right, and you see how she just peaks to a higher frequency and then she starts going the other way. Alright, so we'll put her all straight back to 0. Alright, so we're at 0. Now I'm going to put it on high band, 2.14 or I'm actually getting 21 megahertz out of it now. For a second anyway. Maybe bad. Okay, band switch must be dirty. Alright, now we're going from 0 to 5 on up now. I'm moving the VFO, that's why the dials are frequencies are changing. And you see how she peaks and she starts going the other way. Actually pretty cool. $50 here, so 50 is 4.3, and you're going down in frequency, and you drop it right down, 3.5, 3.3, 3.1, that's 3 megahertz. Don't seem to cover what you're supposed to cover. So if I flick the band switch, she'll start down here on 21 megahertz. She quickly swings back to 2 megahertz. Contact's probably dirty. After all these years, I would say. Probably needs a bit of cleaning. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool little item. So that must be, like I say, it's right on the power switch. So that's probably an external 9 volt input right here. And if you're using this as a receiver, which you certainly can, but again, it just gives you pretty much down crystal radio sensitivity basically, and audio level is pretty low on this thing. What I understand, like I say, it works as like a direct conversion receiver as it is, but it's also a signal generator. So I think it's pretty cool. So I figured you guys would like to see that in action. And the coolest thing about it all of it is that it's been modified to work on transistors versus vacuum tubes. Very cool. Anyway folks, 7-3, all the best, and we'll chat later.